What would happen if you were to throw Orca, Jaws Unleashed, and Depth into a blender, and then chum the waters with the remains? Well, you get Maneater. Maneater is an open-world RPG, where you are thrust into the role of a ravenous bull shark, hellbent on revenge and causing absolute chaos. It was created by the wonderfully twisted minds over at Tripwire Interactive, and currently can be played on PS4, Xbox One, and Windows through Epic Games Store. It will release on Steam and Nintendo Switch, but there's currently no release date at the time of recording this video. Also, if you do plan on buying the game through Epic, they currently have a $10 off coupon that you can use on Maneater, otherwise it's $40 across all systems. Diving into presentation, Tripwire did a great job of capturing the look and feel of the multiple biomes that you traverse throughout the fictional setting of Port Clovis, from swamps to the deep blue sea. I found myself feeling uneasy when swimming around in the larger areas, as the vastness of the ocean will obscure predators that are further away, leaving me with a sense of unease, as there's always a bigger fish. Flora and fauna is about what you would expect, and although there isn't a large variety of sea life to nibble on, it still managed to feel alive. The hunter models look a little bit dated, but in fairness, you only get to see them during mini cutscenes after you've gained enough infamy, and even then they serve as fish food to help your shark evolve, so I can understand why they aren't as detailed as our main antagonist, Scaly Pete. The animation of the shark is solid, from swimming to attacking and thrashing, leading to some pretty gruesome executions at times. I do appreciate the attention to detail, where you can actually see the damage you're causing on ships and aquatica life alike, with pieces and limbs missing from your victims. There's nothing about the soundtrack that really stands out, as it just jumps between simple ambient music and sounds to a more tense score whenever combat ensues. I will say that Maneater does a good job of letting you know when an opposing predator is hot on your tail, through audio cues, so that you can prepare to run, evade, or fight accordingly. What does stand out, and really sells the game as far as presentation is concerned, is the narrator. Having Chris Parnell, known to some of you as the voice of Cyril or Jerry, spout little fun facts and social commentary quips added to the TV documentary series style Maneater was going for, and was just very enjoyable in general.
If a group of consenting adults wants to perform cryptic rites to shadow forth the prophecy of the great old ones, who am I to judge?
That's really part of what makes the game's story so easy to get into. Unlike Jaws Unleashed, where there was this half-baked plot that was thrown in as an excuse to go crazy as a shark, Maneater frames the whole thing as a tale of revenge that has more depth than the trailer leads on. The game starts out with a camera crew following crazed shark hunter by the name of Scaly Pete as part of this television show known as Maneater. Scaly Pete ends up capturing and killing your mother, ripping you out of her womb. To add insult to injury, he disfigures you in hopes of being able to hunt you down easier in the future. The tables turn, however, when the young female pup fights for survival and takes Scaly Pete's hand with her. From there, you continue to grow in size and even mutate until destiny brings the two of you to the inevitable bloody final conflict. There's even a solid reason for why your shark can mutate the way that it does, as long as you're paying attention to the dialogue as you play.
Supercharged with gene-altering mutagens, the shark now has an asymmetric edge on the competition.
Gameplay-wise, the controls are pretty easy to pick up. They remind me a lot of Depth, which is another fun little game you can all find on Steam, where you play as either sharks or divers, both trying to survive. Your main attack methods revolve around biting things, sometimes with the opportunity to thrash about for more damage. You can also use your tail to slap and stun your targets, or to turn them into improvised projectiles by launching people, animals, and other objects into your target. Although this may make up the bulk of the combat, I would strongly suggest taking full advantage of using dodge evade, as it makes most predator fights easier and is invaluable when taking on hunters. Plus, it's funny to watch, unless you're prone to motion sickness. My only gripe is with the lock-on system, considering it tends to disengage whenever your line of sight is broken, which happens often when fighting against other predators that will often zoom right past you. In true RPG fashion, your shark progresses by eating, finding collectibles, and completing side missions in order to grow from a pup to a full-sized mega shark. Along the way, you also unlock upgradable mutations that further improve your abilities while also adding additional combat options, such as the ability to stun and apply damage over time through electricity, poison anything foolish enough to get close to you, and anything foolish enough to pass through your clouds, or become a nearly unstoppable tank of the ocean, capable of easily laying waste to hunter ships as you plow right into them. Although the side quests can be a little tedious, as they are just a repeat of eat a bunch of this creature, these people, or these higher level retextures of existing predators, at least the apex predators and the name hunters provide entertaining little intros and commentary, being more of a challenge than your standard encounters. This is also one of the few games where finding collectibles doesn't feel like a chore, and added to the experience. For instance, landmarks typically are humorously grim situations, pop culture reference, or a combination of the two, complete with commentary from our wonderful narrator.
Giant monsters, or kaiju, occasionally visit Fort Clovis to pregame, before destroying more worthwhile cities.
Overall, I've had a really good time with Maneater despite some of the flaws that it has, the biggest being replayability. Once you've 100% completed this game, which I managed to do in 16 plus hours without even trying to speed through it, there's nothing left to do but free roam. Although it's a welcome distraction for a time, it's not enough to keep me playing in the long run. The story and narration always kept me entertained, and pulling off absurd attacks like you're in your own little sci-fi channel shark film is a blast. In the end, I felt sad, not because of the game itself though, but because I wanted more. I hope that Tripwire considers making Maneater 2, maybe with a grander story involving aquatic creatures of legend, like the Kraken, Loch Ness Monster, and so on, instead of normal apex predators. That being said, I would recommend buying this game, or at the very least renting it and experiencing it for yourself. It's jawsome. I really hope that this review helped and that you found it entertaining. If so, please be sure to like and share this video. Also subscribe to this channel, dinging that bell to remain notified whenever a new video is posted. If you're curious about mutations and evolution, I also posted a video on this channel showing all of them off, so check that out as well. You can follow ReadyComicsRoll on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all the other social media listed in the video description below. Follow ReadyComicsRoll on Twitch for random live streams throughout the week, such as our recent session of Maneater. Last but not least, if you'd like to help ReadyComicsRoll grow, please head over to our Patreon page and consider becoming a supporter today.